I'd like to thank you for taking a few minutes to watch this video and learn about the loan submission process for gas stations, convenience stores, and truck stops. By now you would have already been pre-qualified for financing. The process is divided into 4 sections: the proposal, the gathering of documentation, the submission of documentation, and the actual underwriting of the loan. With regards to the proposal or the letter of intent, if you look at your letter of intent, or if you have a letter of intent, a couple things that we would like to bring your attention to. First of all, Petromac is not a direct lender. If you look on the website in our frequently asked questions or a couple other places there, it indicates that we're not a direct lender. You may or may not have access to some of our sources. Certainly SBA lenders you probably would have access to, but many of the other ultimate funders that we have would be either difficult to find or they would not deal directly with borrowers. A couple of things in the proposal. This is not an exclusive contract, meaning we do not tie borrowers into 30, 60, 180-day exclusive contracts. They are free to deal with other companies if they wish. There's no fee demand upon the commitment, meaning some companies will require you to pay their fee at the time that they obtain you a commitment letter, and should you decide to go with another route, you're still obligated to pay that. We do not do that. We also charge less than many companies that are engaged in the financing of petroleum properties. In regards also to the proposal or the LOI, you will notice in there that we will collect a small retainer. This retainer, this deposit, is based upon the amount of work that we feel that we'll have to do on this file. Obviously, some transactions require more work, such as construction transactions, or transactions where there's multiple financials to be looked at from companies that own multiple sites or multiple corporations. In addition to, when we collect the retainer, there are a couple things that you will find with us that you will not find anywhere else. One of the things that we do is we assist the borrower with the purchase agreement. We believe that a lot of people are overpaying for their sites, so we will work with you with your commercial realtor, business broker, or with the ultimate seller. We'll also assist you with fuel suppliers and vendors to get the best possible contracts, and we'll also assist you with your strategic business planning. And this retainer will actually go, and our services can actually be retained for up to a year after we've been engaged. Simply by us assisting you with your purchase agreement, fuel supplier, and vendor agreements, this can save you tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years. We feel that we're strategically placed to do this where no bank and most other companies will not do. In terms of the actual document gathering process, if you will go to the Petromac.com homepage, if you look on the slide, you will see a red arrow pointing up where it says apply for a loan. If you click that drop down menu, you will see document checklist, and if you click that in this next slide, you will see a red arrow pointing to the left showing purchase, refinance, investor, or construction. And at that point in time, you will click the thing that applies to you. Now, you should have already gotten an email with this checklist to begin with, but again, this is to indicate where it is on the website. Let's assume that yours is a purchase. If you click purchase, you'll see the documents that you need to obtain a commitment letter, not to close. There's a separate list of closing documentation that would be sent out to you. After you've started to send your documents in, you'll be sent 1 to 2 a week information in terms of missing documents. If you look on this spreadsheet here, you'll see a column of they're broken into 3 colors: black, red, and yellow. Those are delineated for things that we need, things that we have, and things that aren't applicable. After you're starting to submit this, in terms of the actual submission process, once we have sufficient documentation to submit to underwriting, you'll see here in this next slide, we will load all the documents onto our Box.net account. There we will put them in a numerical sequence so that underwriter can find it easier and it will make more sense to the underwriter. At the same time, when we submit a file to an underwriter, the first thing that they will look at will be a 5-page spreadsheet. And the first tab simply has to do with the outline. Name of the borrower, name of the company, how much the transaction's for, if it's a refinance, purchase, things like that. The next tab is an actual executive summary about the file. Small narrative in terms of what the borrower is trying to do. The next tab is about uses and proceeds, actually what the money's for. The next tab is the personal financial statement of the borrower, and the last tab is about the actual financials on the site and where we calculate debt service coverage and other indexes that an underwriter likes to look at. After the underwriter has started to look at the file, the ultimate lender or funder may or may not issue a proposal. Some places that we send business to, they will automatically start underwriting our transactions, and others will issue their own proposal. The ultimate lender or funder may or may not collect a deposit that is an addition to anything that we have done. And I'm not referring to a deposit to order appraisal environmental. They may or may not have their own processing fee, which could be anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500. The ultimate lender or funder will be the one that orders the appraisal, and they will also be the one that orders the environmental, although almost all sources that we deal with the companies that we deal with to order appraisals and environmental. The referring broker cannot order an appraisal, and the ultimate borrower cannot order the appraisal. If an appraisal comes to us, it may or may not be acceptable, but we do not want that ordered in the process of underwriting this file. After looking at all the documentation, the ultimate lender will issue the commitment letter, and at that point in time, somewhere along the way, we received an email in terms of documentation that we would need for closing. We like to work on those concurrently so we don't have to start and stop again. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. The speed of the commitment letter is directly commensurate with the organization of the file. We believe that nobody packages and submits loans better than Petromac. We've been doing this for a long time, and we've closed a lot of loans. And again, I'd like to thank you for taking a moment to watch this, and good luck with the underwriting and closing of your file. Thanks so much.